Crews tear down a home within months of it going up. It's a property problem frustrating neighbors and a developer in a booming area of St. Louis County. The Kirkwood house reduced to its foundation tonight. The reason it had to come down all hinges on a foot-long mistake. News 4's Gabriela Vidal explains where the developer is placing the blame and why the mistake wasn't fixed sooner. Gabby.
Sam, the developer of that new Kirkwood home, tells me construction on that new site is now delayed an additional 4 months because at one point during the process, the property was built in violation of city code and the city would not let this mistake slide.
A huge demand for houses, multiple offer situations, and houses going significantly above list price. It really is a hard time to be a buyer.
And that growing need for homes in high demand areas like Kirkwood has pushed an increasing number of buyers to build brand new.
There's no such thing as building anything without some hiccups. And so building an entire house is certainly going to be no exception. And there's always something's always going to come up.
And that's the case here. A home in the middle of construction on Harrison Avenue in Kirkwood, torn down this week because the build was in violation of city setback requirements. Homes in Kirkwood cannot be built less than 5 feet away from a neighboring property line.
We had all the permits necessary as we went through the building process, as is normal.
That's Bruce Bartlett, attorney for the developer of the home, MRM Manland Development Group. He says it wasn't until after the foundation had been poured and work on the building of the frame began that a survey identified the home was 1.6 feet over the setback line.
So we immediately notified the city of the fact that it was built in the setback, and that's when the problem was first determined.
News 4 found that MRN Manland Development Group asked Kirkwood's Board of Adjustments Committee for an exception to continue to build despite the setback difference. That request was denied in a 3-2 vote, despite the homeowner, a neighbor to the property, and even some members of the board in favor of letting construction continue.
What kind of hardship or effect are we doing on the neighbors by having to tear down and having them restart this?
At the time this property was being built, there was no city requirement for a builder to do a foundation boundary survey before moving forward with construction. As of December 2021, the city now requires that to prevent mistakes like this from reoccurring.
We believe it's the subcontractor's fault at this point. Which one, we can't tell you. My client is a reputable builder that's been around for 30 plus years, and he's going to do what's necessary to make sure his client gets the product that they want, and that's what his goal is right now.
Bartlett tells me initially his client will be responsible for the cost of the building. That price is not known right now, but they may consider pursuing legal action against the subcontractors if it's determined that they did make a mistake. Gabriela Vidal, News 4.